It's your boy Osas, and in today's episode, I would like for us to add more details to our chat room. The first thing I want us to do is actually related to our messages preview inside of our channels tab screen. So on the right simulator is the current state of our project, and this left simulator is the completed version of our project. And let's take a look at the differences that we currently have. And so, for example, let's go right ahead and create a new channel. Let's say with QA user 31 perhaps. Looks like we already have a channel with that. Let me try with something like QA user 6. Okay, that looks like it's a new chat. If we go back to our channel tab screen, as you can see, the preview message just says channel creation. Now, when you compare it with what we have on the left simulator, it says newly created chat, which is great. And I would like for us to have something like that. Also, if we scroll down here, look at QA user 31. If we go into QA user 31, we have 3 voice messages, but it doesn't really let us know. It doesn't denote that the last message was a voice message. While if you compare with the completed version of the project, you see in QuickPadme, we have a voice message, which is great. We have, for example, photo message. So I would like for us to fix that preview. The other bit I would like for us to work on today is our username inside of our channel. So when we're inside of a group chat, I would like for us to show our chat partners' usernames. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in the completed version of the project as well. So let's jump into Star Wars Squad. As you can see, the message from Anakin has Anakin's username right up, which is a voice message. If we scroll up here, look at that. That has Anakin as well, which is awesome. We have Anakin up here as well. We have Queen Padme, right? That's pretty awesome. And as you can notice, for this message and this message, they have different username because they're sent by different chat partners. So I would like for us to also bake in that functionality and that username text inside of our chat room screen, especially when we're inside of a group chat. So let's go right ahead, jump into Xcode and start writing some code. For us to fix the preview, we would actually have to jump into our channel item view. So if we go into Xcode, let us go look for our channel item view components. So that is going to be inside of our channels folder, views, and we have a channel item view right here. So this channel item view is actually what's responsible for showing our messages preview. This right here is what is responsible for displaying the last message that was sent inside of a chat room. So I would like for us to add a little bit more styling and a little bit more information, especially when it's a media message to this, to this last message. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to command and jump into our channel item, and let's go right ahead inside of our channel item model. Let's go and add a little bit more information, and I'm going to do that by creating a preview message. And this preview message right here is going to be responsible for showing all of the messages that was all the last messages inside of a chat room. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make this preview message a string. And let's see, I'm going to actually switch on our last message type. If you remember when we're creating, let's see, do we have a last message type here? When we're creating our channels, we actually should have a last message type. And I am going to go right ahead and validate why that is not a thing here. We have a last message timestamp. Let us jump into our chat partner picker view and chat partner picker view model and see if we're actually adding a last message timestamp to our messages. So I'm going to go into our, let's see, our channel chat partner picker view model, open it in a new tab. I'm going to scroll all the way up here where we're creating a channel, and let us see if we're adding the last message type to our channel. And from what I'm seeing here, we have our channel, we have our last message, we have a last message timestamp, and it looks like we do not have a last message type. And obviously that is an issue that I would like for us to fix. And what I would like for us to do here is to actually add a last message type to our channel creation here. So what I would like for us to do is to have something like right after last messages, I would like for us to have something like last message type, and the last message type is going to be of type what? So it's going to be of type, let's see, new channel creation broadcast. Well, the last message type is actually just going to be this channel creation broadcast as well. So I'm going to take this channel creation broadcast. I'm going to put that right in here. Let's see if that yells at us. And I think that should fix our issue. So what I'm trying to do here is when we create a new channel, I would like for us to broadcast and actually add this last message timestamp to our channel dictionary. Now let's go back into our channel item and let us create this last message type. And I'm going to jump back to our channel item and go right ahead and create a last message type right up here. And let's see, I'm going to declare it like at the right below the created by. I'm going to say last message type. I'm going to say last message type is of type message type. Right? We want to know the last message type that was sent inside of this channel. So this is going to yell at us, and let us make this let us go right ahead and actually, decode this. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and I'm actually going to comment out this preview message computer property for now. Let us go right ahead and actually decode this last message type here. So I'm going to say last message type is of type what? So the last message type is going to be message dictionary, message type. The message type takes in a string value. And how are we going to get that string value? I'm just going to say let's message type value is going to be our dictionary, and it's going to look for the last message type using the last message type key. And we know it's going to be of type string. Else, what should we default it to? Let us default it to text. Okay, so we're going to take this last message type value, pass it in here, and now we should be able to properly decode our last message type. And this is going to yell at us. I'm going to default this or new equals this to text as well. So we have our last message type. Now let's go right up here and actually use this last message type right here to create a computer property that we can use to display our last message. So I'm going to switch in the last message type now, but I'm going to retype it so Xcode can complete this information for us. So the first thing that we want is for the admin. I don't really care about the associated value inside of the admin. If it's an admin message, I'm just going to return newly created chat, or you could add something like be the first to add a new conversation or be the first to send a message. And then for the text, we're just going to return the last message, because remember, channel items have a last message property right here. Where is it? They have a last message property right here, which is a string, which is perfect. So let's scroll all the way back down here. So now we have our last message. The photos, I'm just going to return photo message. And for video, it's going to be video message. And for audio, it's just going to be voice message. And I think that does it. So now let's go right ahead and use this preview message inside of our channel item view. But let me quickly fix this placeholder right here. For last message type, I'm just going to say it's text. And I'm going to jump back to my channel item view now. And inside of my channel item view, instead of using this channel.last message, I'm going to use the channel.preview message. And let's actually go back to our channel item and let us turn this last message into a private property, because I don't think it doesn't really matter, but I like using access modifiers a lot, and there's no reason for us to use this last message outside of here now. So this is yelling at us that this is no longer ashable, and we need to make it ashable. So let's see, what do we need to do to confirm our... Actually, it should be ashable. Is it because of the message type? I'm pretty sure our message type is ashable. And if it is not, how do we quickly fix that? We probably need to extend this. No, I'm pretty sure it's hashable. Just make this hashable. And this should fix our issue. Let's go back to our channel item. Let us run our project, and everything should be working now. So this is yelling at us. I think that's just an Xcode acting up issue. I think our project is running right now. Let's go into our channel tab screen. And let us go right ahead and, oh, look at that. That's awesome. So our fantasy football, if you notice, now has voice message as the preview message, which is actually not correct, because the last message is actually this right here. And let's see, let me try a new one. Everything now says voice message. Let's see. Let us send a message inside of this QA user 6. Let's say testing 1, 2, 3. Let's stop recording. Hit that send button. This should say voice message. If we go out, it says voice message, which is awesome. Let us send a regular text message. Hit that send button. If we go out, it still says voice message, which should not really be the case. And let's go right ahead and send a photo, and let's see what it says. It should actually say photo message when we go out into our channel tab screen. So if we go back out, it says photo message. But for whatever reason, it's the text messages that's not getting the right information. Again, let me just validate that again really quickly. Text message is here now. Hit that send button, right? If we go back out, it still says photo message in QA user 6, which is incorrect. So let's jump back to our channel item and let us see what we are doing wrong here. And so we have our text, and when we're saying it's text, we're returning our last message, of which is correct. And let me go into our channel chat room view model and make sure we're actually adding our last message type into our functionality. So I'm going to go into our chat room view model, and I'm just going to Command Shift and O, chat room view model. And inside of our chat room view model, I'm going to scroll all the way up here. Actually, you know what? I'm looking for message services. Message service. And again, the way I pull up that localized search is just Command Shift and O, and you just start typing in what you actually want to look for, the file. So I'm looking for the message service, and I want to look for the send text message method. And as you can see, this is the reason. So the last channel, when you send a text message, the channel dictionary does not actually append the last message type. So let us go right ahead and fix that. So I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to say that last message type for our channel dictionary, right? We want to know the last message type. And all we're going to do here now is we're just going to say text. Actually, we're going to say message type dot text dot title, because remember the title is just going to say, I believe it's just going to say text. Perfect. And we should do the same thing for our media messages as well. Actually, funny enough, our media message actually has a last message type, which makes sense why we had that bug. So let's go right ahead and run our project now, and we should be able to see the right messages inside of our preview. So if we go here, the current preview right now says photo message. Let's actually send a new text message now. A new day. Let's hit that send button. Let's go out of our chat room. Look at that. It says a new day, which is awesome. And let's go right ahead and send a video message, for example, just to be sure the video is working. Let's add a text to our video message. Let's hit that send button. Let's go back out. Oh, that did not clear. That's interesting. That's a bug. Okay, great. Let's go back out of our chat room screen. As you can see, that says video message, and that is awesome. So let's go right ahead and create a new channel, and let's see what it says. So I'm going to create a new channel with like UA user 3, and this is a new chat. If we go out of the chat, it says newly created chats. All right, before we fix a bunch of the other bugs that we just discovered, one thing I want us to do really quickly is to have this nice icons that are next to the actual preview message. So as you can see, for new channel creation, it has this microphone icon, and for photo messages, it has this nice photo icon. And those are all just, SF symbols, so it should be pretty straightforward. And the way we're going to do that is let's jump into our channel item view, right? Inside of our channel item view, what do we want to do? Well, I would like for us to change this last message preview to some sort of a H stack. So I'm just going to change this to an H stack, and let's give it a spacing of 4, right? And I'm just going to put that right there. And what do I want on the H stack? I want an image, because if you look at this is just an H stack, right? And then there's the text. So the image is just going to be a system image. So we're going to use the system name parameter. And how do we want to get the system image? Well, I would like for us to be able to say something like channel dot, let's see, last message type, right? Because the last message type is the message type. I would like for us to have some sort of an icon, right? And there's no such thing as that right now, like icon name. So let's jump into our let's jump into our last message type. I'm going to command and click into that. I'm going to jump into the last message type, and I'm going to create a computer property right here for our icons. So I'm just going to go right ahead and say the icon name, it's going to be the SF symbol name. And what do we want to do here? Well, we just want to let Xcode, we want to switch on self and let Xcode autocomplete that for us. So for admin, let's just go right ahead and return megaphone, I think that's what it's called, megaphone.fill. And I'm going to remove this associated value because I don't really care about that. And for the text, it's just going to be message. For text, we actually don't care because we're not going to show icons for text, as you can see. Let me go right out of here. When it's an actual text messages in the completed version of the project, we don't show an icon next to it. So we're just going to leave that as empty. For photo, let's go right ahead and return photo.fill. Again, these are also SF symbols. And for video, let's do video.fill. Video.fill. And for audio, we're just going to return mic.fill. Okay, let's jump back to our channel item view. Let's use that icon name. And now let's add a little bit more styling to this. I would like to make the image scale small. And I would like to make the foreground style gray. Okay, and let's go right ahead and actually run our project now. We still have the last message preview here, which is great. Let's go right ahead and run our project and let's see what that looks like. I would need to add some optional or some conditional logic here that makes sure that the message only shows an icon when it's not a text. So let's see. Look at that. We have newly created channel, video message. That's awesome, guys. And let's see. We have voice message. Let's send, for example, a photo message in here. Let's see what the photo message icon looks like. Hit that send button. Go out of here. Look at that. We have photo message. So that's awesome. Let's see. Let's enter actually a text message in here. Let's see. Text message. Hi there. Hit that send button, go out of here. That's awesome, actually. We don't even need to add a conditional logic because the text message is optional. Try and hit that send, go out. If you can tell, there's a little bit of spacing in between these, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to leave that. So that's awesome. That fixes our preview issue. The last bit that I would like for us to solve for this episode is, like I showed earlier on, is the username inside of a chat room. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to jump into, let's see, we're going to jump into our chat room view model. So again, I'm just going to command shift and O, and I'm going to start typing chat room view model. I generally don't navigate my Xcode project using this navigator panel. I just use this command shift and O and just type in the file name. It's just way quicker. And if you're not used to that, you probably should pick up this nice little bit of, shortcuts. So now that we're in our chat room view model, what do we need to do to add this username functionality when we're inside of a group chat? So like I showed earlier, let's go into our Star Wars squad. As you can see, each messages actually has a username attached to it. Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Let's actually go into, we don't even need to be in our chat room view model. Let's actually go into our bubble view. I'm going to command shift and O again, bubble view, and I'm going to hit enter. And inside of our bubble view, all that we need to really do is to just have this username text view on top of here. So right after the right after the timestamp, I'm going to add a username text view here, and I'm just going to say, let's see, I'm just going to put let's create a function actually. I'm just going to create another function down here for our username. I'm just going to say message sender name, right? Text view. Or we could just call it sender name text view. We already know it's a message, sort of redundant. All right, so sender name text view is just going to be a text. And ideally, I would like for us to be able to do something like, message.sender, but I don't believe we have a sender property, or do we? Oh, it looks like we do actually. I'm just going to command and jump into that. We do have a sender property, which is awesome. So I want us to do something like message.sender.username. And if the username does not exist, I'm just going to default it to unknown, right? And let's add a little bit of spice into it and put an emoji. It'd just be shrug emoji, like, hey dude, we don't know who the username is. I'm going to click OK, put a space in. All right, so let's style this text component really quickly. Let's make the line limit to 1, because as you can see in the completed version of the project, we don't want the line to bleed into 2 lines. So let's keep it at 1. What else do we want to do? Let's make the foreground style gray. And let's make the font footnote. And let's go right ahead and give it a pattern. So if I exit out of Xcode, just so I can see the completed version of the project, we need a bottom pattern. So I'm going to give it a bottom pattern, give it bottom, and let's just give it a bottom pattern of 2. Let's give it a horizontal pattern. So I'm going to say pattern. I'm just going to give it an horizontal pattern. And I'm also going to give it a pattern.leading of 20. And so that 20 is going to create the spacing between these 2 and this 2. So what else do we need? Well, I'm going to go right ahead and actually put this show sender name, or the sender username, excuse me guys, sender name text view. So I'm going to put the sender name text view right up here. And let's go right ahead and actually run our project and see what shows up on the simulator. Obviously, we need to add some sort of a logic to match the completed version of the project. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that pretty soon. So let's jump into our channel tab screen, go right in here, and look at that. It just says unknown, unknown. But as you can see, it's also showing it for everything. It's showing it for the created, the admin message. It's showing it for, the message that was sent by us. Also, this is not even a group chat. Remember, this functionality of this sender username, we're only showing it when we're inside of a group chat. Because if you think about it, if you're inside of a DM or like a direct message, you really shouldn't be showing it. So let's say, for example, Padme, you really shouldn't be showing the username because you already know who you're chatting with. It's only it only comes in very handy when you're inside of a group channel and you actually need to know who sent the specific message. So let's go right ahead and add the logic that's going to help us do that. The first thing I would like for us to do is now let us request for some sort of a logic up here, some sort of a Boolean value that says show sender name. And this is basically just asking when do we want to show the sender name, right? And I'm just going to have that condition here. I'm going to say if show sender name, right? That's the only time we're going to show this, sender name text view. Let's go right ahead and run our project. Actually, we don't even need to run our project yet. The first thing I actually just forgot about is, let's fix this Xcode preview. I'm going to call this false. The one thing I actually want us to fix really quickly, guys, is in the simulator just now, as you can see, it's saying unknown, and it really shouldn't be saying unknown because we do know who the sender is. So let's say, for example, we go into fantasy football. Let's scroll all the way up here. We do know who the sender is. It's saying unknown, unknown, and that is not correct. So I'm going to go right ahead and fix that really quickly. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to jump into our message service. So I believe the reason it's saying unknown is because the sender is nil, right? And let's go right ahead and fix that, the sender for the specific message. So I'm going to Command Shift and O again, go into our message service. Inside of our message service, let's go where we're decoding a user, where we're actually getting a message. Let's us decode a user and add a user to that. So this is where we're creating a message. And I want us to do something like message.sender is equals to what, right? Who is the sender of this specific message? Well, if you guys remember a while ago, inside of our chat room view model, we're actually already fetching all of our chat partners. So if we go into our chat room view model, I'm going to Command Shift and O, chat room view model, and get messages right here. Inside of our get messages, before we get messages, look at this. We have this method right here called get all channel members. So that means each channel already has all of its members, right? And we don't need to fetch that again inside of this get messages method, inside of our message service. We could just pull the specific member from our channel here, because remember we have a channel parameter here, and we can decode that, we can get that user and attach it to the specific message. And the way we're going to do that is actually going to be pretty simple. And I'm just going to come up here and create a message sender. I'm going to say message sender is of type what? So I'm going to say channel, and I'm going to members. Remember, we have a members property inside of our channel, and all I'm just going to do is I'm just going to loop through it essentially, and I'm going to say, loop through this and find where the specific ID is equals to this message, the owner ID. And here's what I mean. So I'm going to say if a specific member inside of our members array is equals to the message dot owner ID, right? That means that message was sent by that specific member. So that's the message sender. I don't know if that was clear, but essentially we're just looping through this members array inside of our channel. And whenever that UID is equals to this messages, this specific message owner ID, then that means that message was sent by that particular person. So let's go right ahead and turn our message property to a var, right? From a constant to a variable, and this should fix our issue. Let's go right ahead and run our project now, and we should actually be able to see the username of the message sender. And then we're going to go into our chat room view model. Oh, we're getting an error here. Let's jump in here. Okay, our message list controller, we need to fix this because remember we have this show sender name parameter now, and I'm just going to pass in true for now, just so we can see our sender name that we are decoding. So let's jump into our channel tab. Let's go into QA user 5. And as you can see, it says QA user 50, which is great. That's the currently logged in user. Let's go into fantasy football, for example, and let's scroll all the way up and let's see what happens. We have QA user 18, QA user 18. That is awesome. We have QA user 50, which is the currently logged in user. That is awesome, guys. And as you can tell, there's a couple of things we need to do. First off, we don't want to be showing the username for every single message. I mean, first off, we don't even want to show the username if the message was sent by us because we know it's our message. And second off, we don't want to show the username if it's not inside of a group chat. So for example, if we're inside of QA user 5, there's really no reason for us to be showing the username. We also don't want to show the username when the message type is of admin type. The reason it's showing it up here is because this actual guy, this yellow guy, is actually an admin message. So we don't want to be showing the username for that. And let's see. Also, I'm going to go back to fantasy football. If we scroll up here and let's keep scrolling up, there's really no reason for us to show this username here and then show it here again and then show it here. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 messages were all sent by QA user 18. There's really no reason for us to show the username on each individual bubble view. We could just show it at the first item that they sent, and the rest, we're not going to show it. So here's what that looked like in the completed version of the project. As you can tell, Anakin sent 2 messages, and it doesn't show the username right here in this photo here, but it shows it here, which makes sense. But it shows the profile picture, so we know it's them. But whenever there's a new day, right? Whenever there's a batch, there's a new day timestamp, we show the username here as well. So let's go right ahead and write the logic that's going to allow us to do that inside of our chat room view model. So Command Shift and O and chat room view model, let us jump right into that bad boy. Now, inside of our chat room view model, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to create a function that's going to be responsible for showing our, our chat partner username. So I'm going to say show chat partner, or just show sender name. I think that's a better, clearer name. Show sender name for this specific message. And that message is of type message item, of course. And we want to know at which specific index. And that's going to be an integer. And it's just going to return us a Boolean. So what do we want to do here? Let us first write down the couple of logics that we need. First off, we only ever want to show a sender name if it's a group chat, right? Like we established. So show only when it's a group chat. That's the first bit. The second bit is we also only ever want to show if it's currently sent by us. Well, I'm sorry, if it's not sent by us. Show only when it's a group chat and when it's not sent by current user. Does that make sense? So if we jump back out into our simulator, as you can see in the completed version of our simulator here, we're not showing the username here for this, yes message. And it doesn't make sense for us to show it for our message. And as you can see for this too as well, there is no username, text. So we know we don't want to show it for that, for, when it's a group chat. We only want to show it when it's a group chat and when it's not sent by the current user. And let's go right ahead and do that. But before we do that, we need some sort of a logic that is going to allow us to know if a message was actually sent by the currently logged in user. So I'm going to jump into our message item and I'm going to Command Shift and O again, message item, click enter. And I would like for us to declare a property right down here. Again, as you know, it's going to be a computer property. And I'm just going to call is sent by me. And I think this sounds pretty descriptive. And is sent by me is just, is this current message, is this specific message sent by the currently logged in user? And we're just going to return if the owner UID, remember each message has an owner UID, we're going to say if it's equals to the authenticated user, it's current UID. Okay, and let's new equalize that to empty string. So if this is true, that means that message was sent by us. If it's false, it means that message does not belong to us. It's not a message that we sent. So let's go back to our chat room view model. Now, inside of our chat room view model, let's begin to write our logic. But the first thing we need to actually do is, as you see in the completed version of our project, if I scroll out again, we actually show messages. We show username when there is a new day. So for example, if these 2 messages belong together, right, we would not have showed, if these 2 messages were created on the same day, we would not have showed the username right here because as you can see, we're batching messages together when they're sent on the same day. So we also want to know if the message was sent on the same day. So I'm going to say let's is new day, or you could say it's sent on the same day. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to go for is new day. Remember, we have this method right here, so that's perfect conveniently for us. And I'm going to pass in the message that we're talking about and the index path that we're talking about as well. And we also need the prior index, so I'm just going to go right ahead and copy this prior index logic and also the prior message, to be honest, because we want to know the message before the specific message that we're referring to. So now that we have those 2, I'm just going to say if it's new day, we know we want to show the a username if it's a new day and if it's not sent by us. So essentially, if it's not sent by us or sent by current user, I think that's a better terminology. If it's not sent by current user and is a group chat, right? If it's a new day, if it's not sent by the current user and is a group chat, right? We want to show the currently logged in. We want to show the, the message sender username. So I'm going to return message dot is sent by me, but I'm going to invert that, right? Meaning it's not sent by me. If the message is not sent by me and the channel is a group chat. Okay, So we could probably invert this, but that's perfect. So it means the message is not sent by me and is a group chat. That's perfect, right? Else, if it's, if it's all sent in the same day, if the message is sent in the same day compared to the prior message, what do we want to do? So I would like for us to say, let's see. The message, again, this same logic is true. The message is not sent by the current user and is a group chat. But there's something else that I want us to see. If the prior message was sent by the same user. So look at this. These two messages were sent by Anakin. Let's go up here. We'll see a better example. So this messages, as you can see, they were all sent by Anakin, and we only show the username up here, right? These messages were sent by Padme, and we only see, oh, this is a perfect one. Look at this. We have this, 1, 2, 3, 4 messages are all sent by Padme. So we have Padme up here, but this message is not sent by Padme, it's sent by Anakin. So we have Anakin up here. So we need to know if the previous message, right? Because in the case of this message, hi, my friend, we're checking if the previous message, we need to check if the previous message was sent by the same user, right? So the other logic we want to add to this is if it's not sent by the current user and it's a group chat and the message before this one is not sent by the same sender. Or we could just say, yeah, the message before this one is not sent by the same sender. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to go right ahead and use the same logic. We're going to say return message is not sent by me. And let's see, we want a way to compare if a message was sent by the same user, because we need to be able to know if this message and this message, if they have the same owner. And I think we need to go back into our message item again and create another computer property that's going to allow us to do that. So I'm going to go up here, click into our message item, and I'm going to create another computer property. And this one is going to be, let's see, this one needs to be a function, not a computer property. So this function is going to say contains same owner, or you can call it sent by the same user. Contains same owner, I think that's a good one, as message. So I want to compare two messages and I want to know if they were sent by the same user. And how do I want to do this? Well, I'm just going to say if let user, or I'm just going to say if let user A is equals to message.sender, and let user B is equals to self.sender. Remember, we're inside of a message item. So when we're referring to the self, we're referring to this message sender up here. Okay, so I'm going to say user B, self.sender, and then I'm going to return user A is equals to user B, just creating a operator, a equality, or a comparison. Else, if I'm unable to unwrap either of those message sender, because for whatever reason, if any of these two messages don't have a message sender, then I'm just going to return false, because there's no way for me to know if they contain the same owner. So contains the same owner. Yeah, okay. Now let's jump back to our chat room view model. Let's go right ahead and use this. So again, we need to determine if the message before this one is not sent by the same sender. So all we're going to do right here is we're going to say and message dot contains same owner as, thankfully we have this prior message up here. So let's pass in this prior message, right? And of course we need to make sure it's not a group chat. So we're going to say channel that is group chat. So honestly, I'm going to, oh yeah, this needs to be inverted. So message, we want to make sure this message does not contain the same user. And honestly, this group chat thing, let me remove this. Let me just go up here and put a guard statement up here. I'm just going to guard channel that is group chat, else return false. That's a better logic. So I'm going to return. I'm going to remove this as well. So this reads much, much better. So if it's a new day and the message is not sent by us, we're going to show it. If the message is not sent by us and the previous message does not contain the same owner as this message, then show the, the message sender username. So let's go ahead and remove the space in. I hope that explanation was pretty good enough, but now we're going to go right ahead and use the show sender name inside of our, bubble view. And again, if this is a little bit confusing, just pause for a second, read the code and think about what we're trying to do. It would become very intuitive once you do that and compare it with the actual simulator, what we're trying to do here. Because again, all we're trying to do is we only want to show the username when a bunch of messages were not sent by the same user and we're inside of a group chat. And so just go right ahead and read the code and it would make sense. So let's go back and jump into our message list controller actually. Inside of our message list controller, we have this show sender name. We're passing through. Let us actually create show sender name by using the one we just created in the view model. So I'm just going to say view model dot show sender name, show sender name. It's going to say for which message, and we're going to pass in a message that we're getting from the index path. And it's going to ask for the index, and I'm just going to say index path dot item, which is the specific item we're referring to. So I'm going to say show sender name, pass that into our parameter. Let's go right ahead and run our project, and that should handle our issue. So come on, go right ahead. Let's jump into our channel tab screen. Let's go to QA user 5. Look at that. We are no longer showing our username, which is awesome, right? When we're inside of a direct channel. Let's go out here. Let's go into QA user 3. Same thing. We're not showing a username, which is perfect. Now let us go up here inside of, for example, fantasy football. And let's see. We're not showing our username when the message is sent by us, which is awesome. If we scroll up, look at that. We don't show username right here, which is great. We don't show username here, which is great. We only show username here, QA user 18, which is perfect. Look at that, guys. That's exactly what we want. And let me see if I can find another perfect example of this. No, not really this. The reason this is showing channel creation, even though we fixed it, is because the previous messages was not actually setting the last message type inside of our chat partner picker view model. So this is basically just corrupted data at this point. But I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. We pretty much handled the 2 edge cases or the 2 cleanups that we wanted to do. Now our messages are able to show the right previews, and we're able to show our chat partner username when we're inside of a chat room, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. And look at that as well. QA user 27 up here. That looks pretty neat. In the next coming episode, let us handle a couple of more bugs before we jump into paginating our chat room. Thank you for watching as always, guys. I always appreciate all the support. It means a lot to me. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.